You know what sound that is, folks? You betcha. That's another noon whistle, and I'm Chris Trottier.
And I'm John Anzalone, and I am here with Mrs. Woodkey, who is our band director, and some of the students that went to solo and ensemble and did very well.
Well, welcome. We've been looking forward to this episode all week. So
well, good. Can I have them run down and introduce themselves before we get going?
Love it.
All right, let's start right here.
My name is Jaden Heil.
And you play?
Oh, sorry. I play the flute and piccolo.
Thank you.
Nice.
My name is Mark Ambeling. I play the tuba and euphonium.
My name is Kendall Simons. I play percussion.
My name is Will Dreyer, and I play the saxophones.
I'm Mrs. Wiki, band director. And I'm Olivia Prowitz, and I play the flute.
Nice.
There we are.
Sounded good, too. Sounded good. All your practice before the show was worth it.
Yeah, they were loud and proud, weren't they?
Loud and proud. All right, jump right in. Let's go. Tell us what solo ensemble is.
All right, let's have Mrs. Woodkey tell us a little bit about a band and competitions and contests and what we're going to talk about.
So Solo Ensemble Festival is an event that we do every year. Band and choir students compete where they learn solos or they learn small group pieces or both. And then they perform in front of a judge, and the judge will give them feedback, a critique on a rubric, and then ultimately a rating. And if they score high enough on the most difficult level of music, they can advance to state. So this year we had, I want to say it was around 75 students that competed total between band and choir. Some of them did only solos, some of them did large groups, and some were in both. Some of our students had 7 or 8 things that they played at solo ensemble. And then we had about 45 students that advanced to the state level on something. Again, so whether it was a big group or a solo or multiple things.
That seems like a lot.
It was a lot.
Is that high for other schools or schools that are there to have 45 move on?
I think yes. We do a lot more of the large groups than some of the other schools do. And we're lucky that we have the study hall time where everybody has study hall at the same time. And that's one way we're able to learn some of those pieces. So like we had 10 people in percussion ensemble, 8 people in saxophone choir. And so we were able to do some of those big groups. A lot of schools don't do that, that they are able to send those.
Okay. Why don't we go down the line? We'll start back here and talk about what did you compete in? Was it a solo, a duet? What was it and what instrument was it with? And then how did you do?
This year I did a flute duet and then also flute choir, and both of those made it to state, and we did really good on those events.
What's really good at state?
Ones. So that's
Ones?
like you only get taken off a couple points, if any.
Mm-hmm. And the flute ensemble had a perfect score this year. So
Wow. Impressive. Which end do we want to start on? You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. So I was in 7 events total. I played an alto solo, a soprano sax solo, and then I did an alto sax duet, and then I was part of sax choir, clarinet choir, woodwind quintet, and percussion ensemble. I think that's it, right?
I think you had like four or 5 instruments there that
Yeah,
day.
so I played the alto sax, the soprano sax, the toms for percussion, and then the bass clarinet. And all of those got 1s except percussion ensemble did get it too.
1 being the best.
Yeah.
Right?
1 is the best score, yeah.
Okay. It goes from like 1 to 5 or something like
Yes.
that?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Wow. Great job. You're like a one-man band. Nice.
And then, so I'm Kendall again, and I was just in the percussion ensemble. But each year I've done the percussion ensemble. In the past, I've also done a marimba duet and a piano solo. So, yeah.
I competed. I did a tuba solo and a tuba euphonium quartet, both of which made it to state. And I was also a part of the brass ensemble, which unfortunately didn't make it to state, but we still had a good score. We finished off with a 1. In districts, there's an additional score besides just the 1. You can get a 1 with a star, which basically means that you're going to go to state. We just got a regular 1, but the quartet and then my solo both got a 1 with a star. So I'm going to play those at state.
So, Mark, question for you. I think we all know what a tuba is, right?
Yep.
I don't know if many of us know or our listeners know. What's that other instrument you keep talking about?
So the best way to put what a euphonium is, or a baritone, you can call it either thing, is it's pretty much a smaller tuba. It's the same fingerings, just in a slightly higher range. It's a little more maneuverable, And yeah, it produces a similar sound to a trombone. That's the best way to put it.
Thank you.
I competed in 6 events. I did a flute solo, a flute and clarinet duet, a flute trio, a woodwind quintet, flute choir, and I think that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know, I'm trying to think. There's
I'm trying to,
Yeah.
2 flute choirs.
oh,
Yeah, you had 2 flute
I
choirs,
did 2 flute choirs.
So what kind of practice time do you guys put in leading up to this?
A lot.
Yeah.
These guys are all in here in study hall. Usually they're in there practicing with their small groups.
So how many weeks ahead of time are you practicing leading up to this?
Like months.
Yeah.
Months.
I think it depends on the event. It's for the big groups and smaller groups. Usually 3 months is about when we start getting them out and really looking at them a lot. But when it comes to solos, some people have theirs picked out before the year even begins, and they'll start working on them. Others pick it out just like a month or 2 before the solo ensemble event. So solos can vary, but ensembles are usually like 3 months before.
Let's go around. What do you like most about band? I know you guys have been involved for a long time and played instruments for a long time. Like, yeah, what's exciting about it? What's rewarding about it? We'll start in the back.
I think there's so many like small things that you learn like when you're learning an instrument, because it's not just like playing the notes, it's also, you know, learning how to use like vibrato and all those like finer things that really just make, you know, playing an instrument that much more. So I feel like over the years it's been really nice like learning all those things to make myself sound better.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I would say just overall, it's like really good to like connect with your peers in that way, because music is like, it sort of creates like an unspoken bond with everybody, because you're all like putting in the effort and you're putting in the work. And I feel like really close with everybody in the band because I get to like play my instrument and sort of like expose myself and be vulnerable in that way with everybody. So I feel like that's a good connection.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really like storytelling through music. So like right now in band, we're working on a piece for our concert, and it's like tells a whole story throughout the piece. It's very lyrical and beautiful, and it really feels like a movement and that we're all unified as we play pieces like that.
Yeah, I have to agree with both what Will and what everyone said so far. It's the output is just, it's so pretty, and it allows me to express myself emotionally, I think is the best way to put it. In a different way. It's a kind of art. Like, I'm not a big drawer, but music is kind of my equivalent to drawing and that kind of stuff. So it's just a great way to express myself.
Everyone said band is like a second family to me, and I like the performance aspect. I always practice. I'm always practicing something. Like a couple nights ago, I couldn't sleep one night, so I was like, it was like midnight, and I was practicing an instrument. Wouldn't recommend doing that because my parents knocked on my door. But yeah.
No, that's great.
If I can add to it, I always think like the community aspect and being something bigger than yourself and putting that effort forth together. But also like I always try to push them, like we're never at the best. We're never at where we want to be. We always have something more we can add and grow. And it's that constant like driving yourself and finding that motivation of what more can we add, what more can we do to just keep growing and making it even better.
There's always a challenge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always want to be better, or you always want to do it perfect, or whatever that might be. But you know, a credit to you for the things these kids said and the culture that you've created, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat, and it's fun to watch you guys perform, whether that's at a parade or a concert or a basketball game or a football game or whatever it might be. You can see all the kids love it.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I work with some really great kids here for sure.
Yeah. Chris, you got anything?
Yeah, I was just going to ask. So, like, it's probably the longest I've ever sat silent. So, I've been working on my listening skills. Thank you very much.
Sure.
So, what is the what's on the horizon for the music department? What's coming up? I know it's the end of the school year and summer's coming up, but there's always a lot of exciting, fun things. So why don't we kind of highlight some of those things so people are aware of it and can see our students and staff in action.
Yeah, what do we have coming up for performances or things like that?
We have our concert tomorrow, so that's at 6 p.m. Wednesday in the
7 p.m.
auditorium.
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
Get there early to get a seat.
Well, hey, yeah. In the auditorium, so that's always really fun. We play a lot of variety of pieces. Our theme is
One World in Harmony.
Yes.
So they're doing music from different cultures. In the 2 different bands, they're covering different countries and cultures.
All right, and then some coming up Monday too, right?
Yes, that's the sorry, Jake. That's the
I was just nodding my head.
the Memorial Day Parade. We do that up in Sugar Creek there's a cemetery up there. I'm not sure exactly what it's called.
Mount Pleasant Cemetery.
Mount Pleasant Cemetery, and we usually march up there and we have a ceremony, and then we march at the square also after that. We take a bus and we do all that. So those are 2 things to really look out for. Those are fun marches.
Are any of you guys playing for the graduation ceremony?
Yep.
All of you?
Yep.
Yeah.
The seniors usually join us for the first couple songs. They wear their cap and gown. They come play one last time with the band, and then they go join their class, and then we play concerts and dance for them.
When and where is graduation?
It's here.
Where is here?
It's at the Elkhorn Area High School, out on the football field. Not good with dates or times, so someone
May
else.
31st,
May 31st at 6 is when that starts. Usually the band plays a little bit beforehand though, as people come in. So
That's a pivot from Thursday to a Saturday. Am I correct?
New
Yeah.
this year, yep.
Okay.
Anything else you guys want to add about your experiences or anything like that?
I would say also like for personal growth, music just gives you good work ethic. You're studying alone, working on improving yourself. So that's also really important, not to mention like all the community benefits and friends that you'll make in band.
How about, would you guys be willing to go around and in one sentence speak to Mr. Trottier in the camera like you would be speaking to someone thinking about joining band as a elementary or middle school student? What would you tell them, knowing what you know now? Who you want to start? You want to think about it? Anybody got it?
I would
In one
say
sentence.
you're gonna have so much fun.
Okay.
It's a great sentence.
I actually on Friday I did this last year because my mom teaches at Tibbetts, so I go over to Tibbetts and I spend the day talking about a bunch of things, but music is usually part of it. I think the biggest thing that I try to preach to them is that it's just a great experience that helps you find the things that you want to do, even if it's not music. If I won't go too much more into it. That's what it helps you find yourself.
I'd say you meet like a lot of different types of people that you normally wouldn't meet like in like other activities, because it's like such a melting pot of, like people from like all other like parts of life, and you get to, if you're like a freshman going into band, you get to meet like a bunch of upperclassmen, you get to learn from them, so you just get a lot of experience with people.
Something that other people haven't said, the trips we take.
Yeah.
We take fun trips. So if you want to do
Disney.
band, yeah,
Disney.
every 4 years.
Disney every 4. Yep, we're doing Six Flags next year in May. So there's different things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anything to add to that?
I would say just if you decide to do it, stick with it, because it gets more and more rewarding as you move up, through the grades. You get harder music, it gets more like rewarding when you get a certain part and stuff like that. So just stick with it.
And I would add, I always have students that are like, oh, but I'm in sports or whatever it might be. We have students who do everything. We've got students in sports, we've got students in AVID, we've got students in art, we've got students in theater. And I always do that once a year in the fall when we have the middle schools come, who's in this, who's in this? And there's somebody's hand up for everything. So you can do both. You can do music and whatever else you're interested in.
Well, all you guys do a great job.
Thank you.
All you guys do, and we appreciate that. Yeah, you're in the arts and you bring the arts to our school. And anything to add to that, Mr. Trottier?
Well, I just want to we got some likes from around the county here. Mary Rimey and David Dresdow give a big like to the students, and one of our loyal listeners and fellow Rotarian, Mr. John Henderson, chiming in on why Rotary supports the school music department. The arts are so important. So thank you to everybody keeping an eye on checking in on the noon whistle, especially when we can celebrate such amazing kids and staff and commit to the arts and show how our students are engaged and competing and collaborating. It's just a great showcase of everything that Elkhorn's about. John, we're about that time. Didn't we have something to celebrate? Was Mrs. Whitkey going to make a quick announcement at the end, or?
I think so. I thought of a quick one. We have been fortunate enough to have Mrs. Whitkey and Mr. Whitkey on the noon whistle.
Wow, could that be the first husband and wife combination?
Yeah, this is a family affair.
It really is. Come one, come all. We like it. We like it. Who do you think was? I think Mrs. Whitkey was a much higher performer, without question.
I do too. Mr. Whitkey's great behind the camera, but I think Mrs. takes it in front of the camera.
He did have fun videos though from Beijing. So we got
he did.
All right, John. Well, thank you, students. Thank you, Mrs. Whitkey. John, anything else before we send everybody back to work?
Did you have any announcements to make on top of the ones we made?
No, I don't think so.
That's fine.
Solo ensemble, next year we're looking into our district solo ensemble might be held here. It's been held at Bigfoot High School for about the last 10 years. And this year we're, I think, moving it here for a couple of different reasons for facility availability. So that'll be next March.
Nice.
Are you going to need volunteers?
Yep, we always do. We need volunteers helping run standing by the rooms and checking people in and stuff. So
all right.
Next spring.
John, maybe we can go live from solo ensemble, state solo ensemble.
There you go.
There you go.
What do you think?
Yeah, these guys have kind of inspired me. I think I'm gonna get my drumsticks out again and get practicing.
Yeah, I'll let Mrs. Anzalone know that's what you're going to be doing at home, not in your office. So.
All right, thanks, Chris.
All right, on that note, thank you, students. Have a great rest of the year. Thank you, Mrs. Whitkey, for all your hard work. And on that note,
thank you for having me.